Shion has already said, I'm a software engineer, and I'm also a contributor to Chakra UI, and I'm a freelancer. I freelance mainly on Upwork. So I think, yeah, that's all to me, at least for now. We're not here for me, and we're here to just learn about freelancing. So I'll be happy to share all I know about freelancing, at least the basics, for everyone to be able to get started as a freelancer. So if you have questions, please feel free to hold on your questions, and I will answer all questions to the best of my ability at the end of this session. So yeah, I think I can get started now. It's good to have everyone here.
Yeah, you can get started. I guess because of the Easter break, some people are unable to join because we have about 150 people that registered. So,
Oh, okay.
and there we have about 11. But
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure
recording,
they'll join us.
so I can share with some of the registered participants and our community network after
Yeah.
the meeting. Thank you. You can.
Yeah, that's fine. So let me just share my screen now and get started. Okay, so I believe you guys can see my screen, right? So we're here to talk about freelancing for developers, designers, and product managers. So I'll just be getting started with what freelancing is. I know the word freelancing, I don't want to assume everyone knows what freelancing is, right? So in simple terms, I would just say freelancing is when is a self-employment path that you're able to offer skills. So for you to be a freelancer, you have to have skills first. Then you offer these skills as services to clients that are in need of these services, and you get paid for that service. So I believe we are like software engineers or developers, designers, and product managers, and all these are skills. So if as a developer, for example, myself, I'm able to find a client that is in need of maybe web development or web app building, and I'm able to, offer that service to the client and get paid. In simple terms, that's really what freelancing is, right? And you get paid, you earn money. So what freelancing is not a get rich quick scheme. It requires a lot of hard work. I mean hard work. This is because freelancing is more like you're a business owner. So you're the one in charge of looking for clients, you're the one in charge of doing it, you're the one in charge of, communicating customer support. You have to continually be in communication with your clients. So it's not a get rich quick scheme, even though it will eventually pay, but it's not like you start freelancing today and the next month you expect to just earn, I don't know, $1,000. It may happen, but it's not like it happens like that for everyone. So I just thought to let you know that freelancing is great, but it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not MMM. It's not anything like that, right? So let me tell you about my freelance journey and how I got started. I'm excited to be here because I can relate with a lot of us here. I got started freelancing just after leaving the university. In fact, I was on NYSC, and my friend had been telling me about Fiverr, how I can just start making money on Fiverr. But in school, I think we're all wired to just school work, and we probably do not look outside, but there's so much more than school. So I got started freelancing on Fiverr in 2016. I think that was 2016 June. So I started designing. I started as a graphic designer. I never even used, I think I'd used Photoshop just once before then, but definitely I wanted to start earning money, and I just created my Fiverr account, started designing. It took me a while to get clients, but not as long as Upwork. So I started getting $5 jobs designing business cards. I don't know if any of us have, maybe if you're on Fiverr or anything, but I started designing business cards, designing flyers for clients, $5 to $10 per gig. And I was always very excited because, I felt like, oh yeah, I started earning money. I didn't have to wait to send resumes out to jobs and to, people to employ me. So my highest gig at that point was $120. And when I made that money, man, I was so excited. I was so happy because come on, I just finished school, and how would you even compare $120 to the amount we we're being paid then as corpers? So I was really happy. Then shortly after Fiverr, I spent some months in Fiverr. I got to know about Upwork, and Upwork, Upwork is like my main freelancing platform. It's even my main freelancing platform. I freelance majorly on Upwork now. So I stayed 3 months before my first client came. So coming from Fiverr, right? I felt like, okay, I already have some freelance knowledge and I would just go on Upwork and just start making money. But it wasn't so. Upwork is kind of a different ball game from Fiverr, even though they're both freelancing platforms. So I stayed 3 months before I got my first client. So not just 3 months folding my arms, but 3 months understanding what Upwork clients were in need of, or what kind of skills I can improve on. So even though I came as a graphic designer, I switched on to resume writer because I have some experience as a resume writer, right? I didn't get any job and I then became a virtual assistant. And that was when I got my first job at $8 per hour. So, and from there I've transitioned to, a UI designer and a sales funnel developer. So right now I have completed over 50 jobs on Upwork. I've earned over 20,000 US dollars and I have a job success score of 100%. So this is just my, short Upwork profile. You can see my ratings and you can see, my metrics on Upwork. So why am I sharing all of this with you? I want to let you know that if I can succeed as a freelancer and I'm still even succeeding as a freelancer, you can also succeed as a freelancer. All you need to do is to be equipped with the right knowledge and have an in-demand skill, right? And I believe all of us here, at least some of us here, you're either a developer, a UI designer, or a product manager. So it's really good because all of these skills, like, they're in high demand already. So it's not like you're looking for a skill, or at least you know that you want to be a developer eventually. You're probably learning it as a student, or you want to be a UI designer fully, you're probably learning. So all of these skills are in high demand. So you're already like, we are not even dealing with, okay, what can you learn? They are in high demand. So you already even have an edge over, people that are looking for what to learn and what to freelance with. So in simple terms, I would just say the 3 stages of freelancing is to have a skill, develop it. That's like the first thing. If you do not have any skill, I don't know, you probably not be able to freelance because you need a skill. No one is just going to, dash you money. You need a skill first. Then you develop that skill and you sign up on a freelance platform. Like, I'm just giving you the straightforward approach to it, which worked for me. Like, I had a skill. I was good in admin work. I was good in graphic design, and all these skills are what helped me to start my freelance journey. So I want it to be as simple and as straightforward as possible for you. I don't want to give you, 10 steps to freelancing. No, it's just have a skill, develop it, sign up on a freelance platform, get jobs, and earn money. So what do this really mean? So, having a skill and developing it, clients are looking for people that are experienced to work with. They're not just looking for average people, so to say. They're looking for people that are properly skilled in what they're doing. So if you're a UI designer, for example, and maybe it's only Photoshop you know how to use, you need to develop that skill too. What exactly are my clients looking for? A lot of times now, clients want people that, can use Figma, can use, InVision and all these latest tools, Sketch and whatnot. As a developer also, I still using jQuery. Not like this is bad, but, for you to be a freelancer, you are going to think like a business person. You're not just forcing your skills on people. You're finding a way to solve solutions to, challenges that clients have. So what are clients actually looking for? Are clients looking for a website with WordPress? Are clients looking for a website with Wix? You're looking at the perspective of the clients. Okay, what do clients want? And positioning yourself to be able to offer that service to clients. So you're not just saying, okay, I have this WordPress, everybody must use WordPress, or I have React skills, everybody must use React skills. No, that's the difference between full-time employment and freelancing. So freelancers, you look for what exactly your audience or your market is in need for, clients are in need of, and you go ahead and develop those skills. So I would just like to know what kind of skills do you think as a product manager you need? You could just type it in the comments or in the chat. I want to know, because I want this to be interactive, right? I don't just want to come and give you a lecture here. because I know that we are all used to lectures, so you could just type it. Yeah, what kind of skills do you think you need to develop as a software engineer, as a developer, or as a UI designer? Feel free to send it in the chat. Feel free to just drop it in the chat, and yeah, we'll continue.
Folasade, a quick before you go. Some people said they can't hear us. Yeah, please, if you can hear me and if you can hear Folasade, please kindly signify. Unmute your mic and just say hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, so Olamide Kayode, it should be your network.
Maybe she hasn't clicked join with audio. That sometimes,
Okay.
She needs to click join with audio, yeah.
Yeah, Olamide, you can check your settings, join with audio or join through cellular or Wi-Fi. So check your settings. I think everybody can hear us. Yeah, thank you. You can go on, Folasade.
Okay, yeah, so I said what you should drop in the chat is like, what skills do you think you need to develop as a product manager, as a UI designer? Like, what skills, what are the things you think you can still improve on as a developer? So I just want to, get feedback from you guys to know that you're following me, yeah? And I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, so some of the things that helped me, right, when I started was, I used to read a lot of blogs because prior to, being a virtual assistant, I didn't know what virtual assistant even meant, but I had to learn, right? So I developed my skills. I had to know the kind of tools that I needed, product management tools, had to learn how to use some process, software and things like that. So some of the things that can also help you on your journey to developing yourself are, you need to read books, you take online courses, right? Subscribe to YouTube channels. A lot of people do not see the value in YouTube, but I can tell you that YouTube has so much content that I'll say exhaust the free content that you can get on YouTube channels before you even go to online courses, because I know we all want to feel like we're taking courses in Udemy, and it's good, but a lot of channels on YouTube are very important and they're very good. They're very useful for you. So I have some YouTube channels I'll be sharing. So read blogs as well. So I see Akintunde said, good communication. Okay, good communication. What is your field of specialization? Are you a developer? It's important, but I just want to know. Then Joshua said problem solving skills. Yes, that's very important. Software developer, good knowledge of some programming language. Yes, what kind of programming languages do you want to learn, Joshua? Then Abisaya said Android app development. Yeah, so you also need to know what kind of programming languages are very broad, right? Do you want to know JavaScript? Do you want to know Python? Do you want to know Go? There are so many. So you have to be specific, and that's where you have to know what exactly you want to specialize in. You can just go to, I'll get into it more, but you can just go to Upwork, see how many people request for skills that have to do with React, how many people, or like how much people request for, how much clients request for skills that have to do with Python. So that's another pointer to know, okay, maybe I should learn this, because if the demand is high, then you probably have a good edge or a good advantage. So yeah, so that's that. So a few places to learn: YouTube, Skillshare, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera. Like I said, exhaust what you can learn on YouTube before going to any of all these paid platforms. So I put together a couple of YouTube channels that have helped me as a developer, and I know it also helps. So you could just take note of some of these YouTube channels, go to it. They have really useful content that can help you grow as a freelancer. So I'm saying, before you even go to finding clients, you have to make sure that you've positioned yourself properly. You are like a hot cake, so to say, so that you won't even have to struggle so much. So for developers, these are some of the channels: Free Code Camp and Codevolution. Like the first four, I've used them and they've been so helpful for me. So for UI designers as well, I research into some really nice YouTube channels that can help you grow as a UI designer, product designer. You can have a lot of knowledge. You can learn and get perspectives from different people. So you're not just like a local champion. You know, as a freelancer, you're going to be working with international clients. So you want to make sure that you are properly positioned and you have a broad view of perspective of a lot of things, right? So product management, these are some YouTube channels that can help you. So just take note of them, and later after you could just check them out and start learning a couple of things from them. So some good to have, but not essential things, right? You know, at the beginning of this, I said that I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to give you 20 steps to freelancing. I just wanted to keep it simple. Have a skill, develop it, sign on a freelance platform and start earning. But if you want to go, like, if maybe, because there are two ways to freelance. You can either freelance online, which is what I do and which is what I'll be saying because it has worked for me. And you can freelance offline, you know, getting clients, local clients, maybe meeting someone that you know is in need of your service and offering it. So if you know you have to do that, I would say it's good to have a portfolio. You know, portfolio is very essential if you're freelancing offline, meeting local clients. You know, you're not using Upwork and you're using Fiverr. It's not like you don't need them for, you know, online, but it's not as important because online platforms already have, like on Upwork, I'll show you everything. You already have where you can upload your projects, so it's not very important. Then you need a social media audience because you need to really, you know, if you're freelancing offline, you need to make yourself like an authority. So you need to keep, you know, educating your audience and positioning yourself right. That's why you need social media audience. But if you know you're freelancing online, like me, you don't necessarily need to have all of this. It's just a long thing for me. So all of that is step one. So I'll spend more time on this second stage, which is signing up on a freelance platform and getting your clients. So freelance platforms are majorly like two-way, you know, it's like a two-way website. So there are people that have, there are clients that come in, you know, clients are in need of a solution or a problem or something, they need a service. And so you have the client side of the platform, then you have the buyer side or the freelance side or seller side. As the freelance side, people like us, people like you that, you know, you can offer. So the freelance platform literally just matches people that have, you know, these skills to people that are looking for these skills. That's it in like a nutshell. So all of these platforms are some, this is not all, there's still a lot more online platforms, but these are like the common ones, or the ones that when you join, you're joining platforms to make money. So these are the common ones that clients usually visit, and there are, you know, a good inflow of job opportunities there. So obviously I'm going to mention Upwork because that's what I use, right? Upwork, Fiverr is there. I told you of my journey, so I don't want to repeat it. Fiverr is good. It's great for if you're just starting your freelance journey. And in fact, some people really succeed on Fiverr. So I would say for me, I enjoyed Fiverr, but it's not for me. It's not as great as Upwork in my own opinion, because the quality of people that come to Upwork, like quality of clients are more, or they're better. You can see a client on Fiverr telling you that they want to do a website for $5, and you're like, really? But you hardly see that kind of thing on Upwork. So I think if you have to start and you can't get on Upwork, get on Fiverr. But if you can get on Upwork, please just use Upwork. Then TopTal is like an elite freelance platform, meaning that it's like top talent. So they get like 3% of is not a beginner friendly platform, so to say. They're for people that already have some kind of experience on, like, as in whatever niche they are. So I think they'll tell you need like 1 or 2 years experience, proper experience. So getting into TopTal is a bit of a challenge, but if you know you have the experience and you're already a guru in what you're doing, like, go for it. There's no limit, right? So Guru is another one. I joined Guru when I first started. Guru and People Per Hour. I joined them. I haven't joined Freelancer for like maybe a day or so. But I joined Guru and People Per Hour, and I didn't get any job there. I don't know if it has changed now, but I know the inflow of jobs is not as much as Fiverr and Upwork, right? So that's Guru, but it's probably still worth trying and checking out. And 99 Designs and Dribble, these are really good for, designers. You can, like all of these platforms, designers, developers, product managers, you can freelance on any of them. There are people that come looking for product managers, so you can get them on Upwork, Fiverr, Top Down, all of them. But 99 Designs and Dribble, I think they are more specific to just design, UI design, product design, and all. So you can definitely still check all of them out. So are you on any freelance platform? If you're on any freelance platform, feel free to just, let me know which one you've tried out and how it has been working out for you. Yeah, I'm just trying to see how, I'm looking for the chat, but I guess I'll just continue. Okay, so let's go on. So getting started on Upwork, you just go to upwork.com and you click on this sign up button here, right? It's as simple. You want to get started on Upwork, you go to upwork.com, click on sign up, and you sign up as a freelancer, because there are two ways. You can either sign up as a client or as a freelancer. So make sure you click sign up as a freelancer. So when you're getting started, for you to be accepted, so the thing about Upwork is Upwork doesn't automatically accept you. So even though you've completed your profile, it needs to be properly done. It needs to be 100% complete. It needs to be properly done. So if for any reason at all, you do not have, like you've tried and you're not able to sign up on Upwork, that's another class on its own, like getting started on Upwork and getting your profile approved. But the things that you need to complete are skills. They'll ask you about your skills, ask you about education. You need to don't be lazy about all of this. Make sure that it is properly completed. Your work experience, they ask you about it. And we are students, right? But you don't necessarily need to have like a office work experience. It could just be something that you did with a friend. That's a work experience. It could be something that maybe an organization asked you about. Because I remember in school, I had someone that, used to work. I don't know if you guys know JCI. So he used to design flyers for JCI. And that's a work experience. So you don't need to wait till, when you get offer letter from a job, that's when you have a work experience. Every single thing, no matter how little it is a work experience. So don't count it as little, right? Adding your work experience and your experience level. I always tell people that, Upwork is looking to make money, right? When you're getting in, make sure that you're getting in for a skill set or a niche that you have. You're not a beginner at all, because Upwork does not want beginners. They are growing their platform, and that's one of the reasons why they reject profiles, because they don't want beginners. So make sure that you either feel like you're an intermediate level or you're an expert. Yeah, that's one important thing to do. Languages, filling your languages, and phone number, location. Please do not lie about. I know a couple of people ask about, okay, VPN, should I use VPN? Should I say I'm in US? Please don't lie about it. Upwork can find you, and it's easier for you to, spend time like me, spend 3 months before you get a job than for you to want to get a job tomorrow and you're totally banned from Upwork. Just be honest and truthful about everything you're supplying, but make sure that you supply the right information to your best ability, right? So now we're on Upwork, so it's time to get the jobs. How do we start earning money on Upwork? So I'm still trying to find, I'm still trying to find the chat. I think I saw, just a minute, please. Okay, I think I saw a couple of messages in the chat. I want to make sure that, okay. Yeah, so I'll answer all your questions later. Let me just continue. Yeah, so let's go ahead. So the two important elements that determine, if you get jobs on Upwork or even freelance platforms, they're your profile and the kind of proposals you send out to clients. So your profile is very important because your profile is like your resume. It's like when clients are looking for, people to work with. So you can either get an invite, that is maybe the client has seen your profile, right? And the person says, oh, this person's profile, this person looks like, maybe you say you're an expert product manager, for example. You have maybe some experience, right? And person says, the client says, oh, this person has what I need. Person can invite you to a job. That's one way of getting jobs. Like you can immediately get invites and get a job. It has worked for me. Or you send proposals, which is the most common way to get jobs. You send proposals or bids, whatever it is called, in any online freelance platform. So these are the two ways to, get jobs online. So let's talk about profile. Profile is very important. Like I said, it's like a resume. It's just like an online resume for people to see if you're the best fit for their job. So your profile should have, this is a simple checklist of what your profile should have. You should have a brief introduction, right? Brief introduction, but not telling them about your life, just very brief. Nobody really cares to know where you schooled and everything, like on your profile. In the education part of it, you can have it, but your profile overview should not have unnecessary gist. Just go straight to the point. Talk about your years of experience. Maybe you have 2 years, 1 year. Tell them what your years of experience. Talk about your skill sets. Do you have Python? Do you have product management skill sets? Maybe creative thinking or design thinking, or just talk about your skill set, your work process. How do you work? People want, because all of these things are what, make you unique. The freelance platforms are very competitive, like very highly competitive. So if you're coming to freelance, you know that you want to stand out, you want to be that unique person. So you don't want to sound like how everyone is sounding, right? You want to make sure that you are unique. So creating a great profile overview takes time. It's not something that you should just do in 2 minutes and you're done. Don't just do one paragraph and you're done. One paragraph doesn't tell anything, right? So take time to craft your profile overview to be excellent. I think one of the mistakes, I remember when I was doing a free profile overview for a couple of people, I did it, and their Upwork profile. Some people, I think the mistake I see a lot of people doing is that you just assume that people know you. Like no one knows you. Like the only way you can communicate your value to clients is by putting it out there. Like no one knows, even if you're good within, you're good. If you don't communicate it out to people, no one knows. So I saw a lot of people just having one short paragraph of profile overview. I'm like, no one's going to hire you with all of this, because your competitors out there, they have properly written profile overviews. So you talk about your elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is just maybe a sentence on why clients should work with you. Your profile would also have your, your previous work or portfolio. There's a section for that, right? And it's also good to have a recommendation and testimonial. Like I said, if you've done a job, no matter how little, someone said you should do one design, or someone said you should maybe work on your website, find those people, collect testimonials from them, put it on your Upwork. It's allowed. There's a way to even get testimonials from people. So shortly after all this, my long gist, I'll go into Upwork and actually try to, give you some practical tips that can help you. So call to action is also important. Call to action is just like a word, telling people to take action. So when you see stuff like learn more or send a message or just action words that just make people, okay, yeah, take action. Don't just read my profile, hire me, send a message, work with me. All of these are call to action words. So yeah, so this is my own profile. I just want to show you how I, used what I just said to create a profile for myself. So I started, even though I showed you all of this, it doesn't have to be like sequential like this. Okay, you first introduce yourself. It could be really any way. The most important thing is that all of this is showing. So I started with my recommendation and testimonial because I feel like this is what really gets people, no matter what you say about yourself, I think it's more important what people say about you, at least in the freelance world. So even if you say, I am this, I am this, I am this, no one can also say that, yeah, you are this, right? There's nothing like it doesn't really sell you out well. So I use Esther. Esther is my I use Esther on Upwork. So I have a recommendation from a client I worked with. Talked about my years of experience, my skill sets, my elevator pitch, and why people should hire me, and my call to action. So it's just short, brief, straight to the point, simple. I listed out all my skill set because, clients are probably looking for people that have specific skill sets. So for example, if you're looking for, Figma or ClickFunnels or Katra or Kajabi, any of these, you just say, okay, I think this person knows what she wants. So don't just say I'm a product designer or I'm a product manager. Like, these the skills you use when you're as a product manager or as a UI designer or as a web developer. Always list the skills you use, list the tools you use, list your work process. Things like that will set you out and make clients quickly decide if you're the best fit for their job. So let's go on. Proposals. Proposals are so important. It's a way to pitch yourself to clients, to make sure that you see an interesting job, you send a proposal or you bid, whatever it is. On Upwork it's called proposal. I think on Fiverr it's called bid. Now you send a bid, and on other freelance platforms they call it bid, but it's still the same concept, right? They are to get you to start a conversation. So your proposal is not just to get you to have a job. Like, you see a job that you're interested in, you send a proposal. Like, it's not just to get you a job, it's to get you a conversation with the client. So you're trying to find out if, you're trying to present yourself in a way that the client is interested. So, okay, how much will this cost, or what do you need to get started, or something like that. So it's not just that you just want to, you just send a proposal and the client just tells you, okay, yes, come and work with me. Most of the time, it doesn't work like that. You make sure that you build rapport with the client in your proposal, and you're able to then start a conversation to get a job. Right. So, okay, so I'm wrapping up soon. I want to be able to answer as many questions as possible because that's also very important. So yeah, find the right jobs, identify your right client. So a lot of people say, I don't hear back when I send proposal. Most of the time it's like, you're applying to the wrong jobs, or you're applying to the wrong clients. Not every client on Upwork, it's not every client to send proposals, or it's not every job, so to say. It's not every job on Upwork you should send proposals to. Some jobs, you see them, like if the client cannot even specifically tell you in the job description what they want, most of the time, that's already a red flag. Not like, oh, but that's a red flag or a warning, like tread with caution. You shouldn't just, especially if it's probably taking a lot of your connect, you shouldn't just send or apply to those jobs. So your proposal should be something that grabs the attention of the client. So you don't want to start in a way that is boring, right? You want to make sure that the proposal is about them and not you. Your profile can be about you, but when you're sending your proposal should be focused on the value you're bringing, the solution you're offering, the suggestion you're giving. You're able to empathize, like, okay, maybe the client says, oh, I'm struggling to, make money. Maybe my website is not really converting my leads to customers or something like that. You're able to first empathize with them, right? In your proposal, like, I totally understand, I'm sorry this is happening, or just something to empathize with them. Then provide solutions like, okay, it could be because of this. If you work with me, I'll be able to help you, increase this, like guarantee them something. But a lot of times people just use generic proposals. They just send generic proposals. You're not really addressing the pain point of that client. You're just saying, oh, I'm a developer, I use HTML, I use CSS. Like, that is not answering my question. Like, that is not even doing anything, and you expect to hear from clients. So that can also be a reason why you don't hear from clients. So take time out to, take time out to understand what the client is in need of, and then prefer solutions, have a conversation, be warm, friendly in your proposals. Don't sound like a robot. That's one of the things I would say. So wrapping up, 6 final tips for freelance success before we go into Upwork, like show you around and I just answer questions. So 6 final tips for freelance success. I'm giving these tips from my experience as a freelancer and my experience as a freelancer, and just making sure that you are properly equipped with the right knowledge for success. So in as much as you have the skill set, there's so much more to freelance success than just having the raw skills like that. So the first one you should know is start small and grow. Like I said, freelancing is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not something that you just start and today you want to start earning money a whole lot. It doesn't really work like that. When starting out, if you're even going, like I said, if you're working offline, your first clients could even be your family or a friend or something. So even though you know that you're getting, like I told you, I started as a freelancer earning $5 on Fiverr for complete jobs. Then on Upwork, I started earning $8, and now I'm charging $45. So see the way I grew, right? I didn't just start on Upwork and start charging $50. No one is going to hire you, especially if you don't have the skills and you don't have the experience to show for it. You're still growing. So start small. Even though you want to get to $100 per hour, it's great, but start small. Put in the work first. I always say that you shouldn't work for free, but at the same time, if you have to work for free, make sure that you are the one offering to work for free. Okay, let me do this job for you for free. Not that client is literally imposing on you that, oh, you must work for free, I'll give you exposure. No. So if you know that you've been maybe trying to get clients and it's been really tough for you, so I would say, especially if the job is not going to stress you so much, it's not a job that will kill you, right? If it's a job that you can easily do straight up, you could offer to work for free and get that client, like do the work so well, get the review, get the feedback, add it to your Upwork profile. Or even if it's on Upwork and you see a client that is saying, oh, I need something done for $20, you probably feel that it's small, but at the same time, get that experience. Just get that first client and then you grow from there. So that's the first advice I'll give you. Then keep doing quality work. Like the best thing you can do is to do quality work as a freelancer. I remember my first client as a virtual assistant, like he was the one, or he is the one that's giving me my largest pay ever on Upwork. I worked for him so well that he gave me like 3 different reviews on Upwork. He sent me, you can imagine if a client is sending you 1K, is that twice, he sent me 1K bonus 2 times, 2 different times. So, and he was my long-lasting client on Upwork. That's just because I was his virtual assistant and I did so well. So the best you can do for yourself as a freelancer is to do quality work. Don't just be after the numbers. Don't just be after the money. Don't just be after, you just want to do ramshackle work and you just want to earn the money. No, do quality work. That's the only way you can, actually get, like I have 100% job success score. That's because I don't chuck my head into jobs that I know that I cannot do. So do quality work. As for referrals, like I said, referrals are very great because they build trust in like prospective clients. So when you've done the quality work, you can then ask for referrals. You can then ask for testimonials. You can then ask for almost anything from the client. So this is so important. Give clients realistic timelines and adhere to them. There's nothing as, disappointing a client. It's so bad if as a freelancer, you disappoint a client. I know there was a time I made a mistake myself. I was working with a client. I didn't think that the job would take me so long. So I didn't meet up with the deadline and that was sad for me. So I think most of the time, if a job is going to take you 1 week, don't try to over impress the client and tell them it will take you 3 days. It's always more advisable to, under promise and over deliver. You've probably heard it before, but it's the truth. on a promise is better for it to, okay, this job will take me 10 days. Complete it in 7 days. The person is like, oh yeah, this person is good. And to tell the client, oh, this job will take me 2 days. And the second day, you don't even know what to do, right? It's very disappointing. So give clients realistic timelines and make sure you adhere to those timelines. So yeah, build confidence is very important, because as a freelancer, like I said, you're the one doing the whole work. You're the one doing the marketing, writing proposals to get jobs. You're the one still going to do the jobs. You're the one going to do literally everything. You're your own boss, so you have to be the big man or the big girl, right? So build confidence in yourself. It requires a lot of self-motivation. 2 days ago, I was with a client, I had a client interview. Client is in Australia, and I literally had to wake up earlier than normal. And I think in my entire freelance journey, I had the longest 1 hour initial interview before the client then made an offer. So it's not easy to put yourself out there to more or less tell the client that I'll guarantee client that yes, I'll do this. And I can understand if sometimes maybe it's nerve-wracking. You're like, oh, how will I even communicate this to the client? But trust me, it starts little by little. My very first client, this one that I told you that I worked as a virtual assistant, my voice was shaking, right? Do it afraid. My voice was shaking when he was interviewing me, because like I never even, on Fiverr, you don't need to have face-to-face interviews. It's not compulsory. But on Upwork is normal to, the client will say, oh, I want to speak to you. When are you available? So I had it, and I didn't have the confidence, or it was very small, right? But now I won't say I'm 100% confident, but confidence is something you keep building over and over, you keep building yourself. So just know that, just keep putting yourself out there. Don't be shy to have one-on-one calls with clients. The worst is that they will say they're not giving you, but when you keep doing it, you get used to it. So build confidence and keep motivating yourself. So I think this final one, don't be in a hurry. There's no one that, if you ask freelancers, successful freelancers, everyone has their story. And there's no one that will say, oh, this thing happened just at the snap of a finger for me. It always takes time. Even developing your skill takes time, talk less of finding clients. So, I know someone that said that she signed up on Upwork in March, and she was already frantic, and she just wanted to start getting clients. I'm like, calm down, take it easy, be patient. Just be patient. If clients are not coming, there's probably something that, in fact, it may not even necessarily be on your end, right? You may be doing everything right, but for some reason, not all the jobs on Upwork that are posted, it's not all the jobs that eventually get someone that, it's not the jobs that get hired. So people could post jobs and they're not really hiring. They just archive their jobs. So don't be in a hurry. Take time. Don't be hard on yourself. Just calm down and take it easy. Be patient. Eventually, you will get that job. So actionable steps. After all of this that you've heard, I want you to sign up on Upwork, or I won't say any freelance platform. Try signing up on Upwork, find the right jobs, and start earning. That's like what you can do. So I don't want to just come here and tell you all of this and you remain like the same. Nothing changes. So I want to challenge you. If you're not on Upwork yet, go on Upwork, sign up on Upwork, find a job and start applying and start earning. So I think that's the end of all of my long gist. I want to hear back from you. I'll be answering questions now, and I'll probably also show you the interface of Upwork. And so I believe you've learned 1 or 2 things, and just tweet at me. I want to hear back from you. Freelancing, just use the hashtag freelancing101, tweet at me and let me know what you've learned. You could also contact me here on my details. So let me go into the chat now, and if you also have a question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me any question.
Okay, I think I'm going to moderate the question. Thank you so much, Folasade. That was a very insightful section, and you've been able to demystify some of the fears that I have, because personally, I've been seeing stuffs on Upwork. Get your Upwork account verified, 5,000, 10,000, and all that. So, well, I basically didn't consider all those things, but I think you've done a justifiable job
Okay.
introducing us to Upwork and how it works and all. I think we are going to have a freelancing 102 that's going to be about Upwork itself. Yeah,
Okay,
I think we
that's
are going
fine.
to have that. Yeah. So yeah, okay. I will be if you have any question, just raise your hands. Raise your hands. So I'll be calling sequentially so that everything goes on smoothly. I think just raise your hand, and I will also be reading out the question in the chat. So we have Akintude. Akintude first question says, I'm on Upwork is quite good to use, just having issues getting a job recently from there.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
what are you on Upwork as Akintunde, if I can ask?
Akintude, can you unmute yourself and speak? Thank you.
Yeah, I work as a UI UX designer.
You work as a
UI UX designer.
Okay, and on an average, how many proposals do you send
Well, throughout last
a day?
year,
Like in a day, how many proposals do you send per day?
recently I've been off Upwork for some time. But last year when I was using it frequently, at least I had like 5 per day.
5 proposals per day.
Yep.
Okay, so let me just go into Upwork now and share a couple of things with you on Upwork. So, okay. So on Upwork, people say they do not have or they do not find a job. So now I believe you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so say you're a UI UX designer. I want this to be kind of practical. I just want to quickly share some tips on, so you not getting a job could be a mix of different things, right? It could be a mix of the kind of jobs that you're applying to. It could also be a mix of the kind of proposals that you're sending. So for example, this person is in need of a UI UX designer, right? But this payment is unverified. So I want to show you the kind of jobs that you shouldn't apply to. At the same time, I always say that quality over quantity in terms of proposals. So it's really not in the amount of proposals you send, it's in the quality of the proposals and the quality of the jobs you as a person you apply for. So if you see a job that is saying this thing, some people will not even look at all of the metrics that this client has and just apply it to the job. But me as an experienced freelancer, I know that this is even though it says an interesting job, Upwork tells me it's an interesting job, this is a poor job to apply for. Why? This job, I'll show you in a minute now. So this job, the person, the client doesn't have a payment verified. That means the client has probably not even hired anybody on Upwork. And so when you go to a job, you look at the right parts. The client doesn't have any payment verified, and the hire rate is 0%, right? So why would you even want to apply to a job like this? Like applying to a job like this is already, you probably not even hear back from the client at all. Do you understand? So this is, a lot of people make all this mistake. This is a poor job to apply for. So on the other hand, let's see this kind of job, right? So imagine this person that has a 62% higher rate, even though his payment, I've not read the job description yet, but it's important. But the first thing I look out for is to check here, because this will determine if I even want to read the job description at all. So this person has hired 66 people, and out of those 66 people, he has paid only 1K. this tells you that this client, even though the person hires, the person doesn't pay money. Like the person probably like his job is telling you that this job now is $20. For everything he needs is $20. So imagine you apply for this job, you now go and quote yourself $120. The person, you will not hear back. So these are the things that, as a freelancer and Upwork, you need to take note of. So this is just to answer your question. Qualify the kind of jobs you want to apply for before applying. That's just the simple. Definitely, even if you apply to jobs that, that are 100%, person probably has 100% higher rate, it's not a guarantee that you get a job, or it's just that it prevents you from wasting your connect on Upwork, and it also positions you better to get a job when you've already qualified the kind of job and the kind of client to know if you want to apply to that job. So that's like the short answer to your question. I hope it helps.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Folasade. Akintunde, I hope she had answered your question very well. So, okay, I think you still have another question. Let's quickly clear Akintunde's question, then move to another person. Okay, he said, when you send a proposal on Upwork, is it advisable to go below the client's budget to be able to get the job? Can one drop a proposal for a job that the client payment option is not verified? I think you've answered some of it in.
Yeah, I've answered the second part. I think the first part that says, when you send a proposal on Upwork, is it advisable to go below the client's budget to be able to get the job? So it's not like a yes or no answer, right? It's more or less like you need to find out the kind of client it is. For example, this particular client that you said, is it advisable to go below? Okay, so going below the client's budget, I think, makes it cheap, because if the client has already said, okay, I'm looking for maybe expert levels, I'm looking to pay $50 per hour or $50, and you're now quoting $10, it doesn't necessarily impress the client. That's the truth. It gives the client already has a notion of the amount he wants to pay. Like, imagine you go to the market now and you already know that, okay, for example, you want to buy an iPhone, Abi. You know the price of an iPhone, right? You have an idea of how much an iPhone, because iPhone is quality. Then you now see someone selling it for 50K. Will you buy? You will not buy it now, Abi, because that 50K is telling you what? It's probably telling you that it's fake, it's stolen, or it's not working. So going below the client's budget is not advisable. It doesn't necessarily impress them. It's just passing yourself off as someone that is cheap, right? So it doesn't impress them at all. Yeah, so that's the short answer.
Thank you for clearing that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Folasade. So we have okay, Daniel Suma. He said, what does freelancing as a PM look like, since we will most time need to have a team?
Okay. So freelancing as a PM, I've not freelanced as a PM personally, right? But from my own observation, it may be a bit challenging, right, to get started initially. This is because, you need a team. So most of the time, freelancing as a PM, you need to work with the client's team. So if a client more or less comes to you and say they need a PM, it's not as if it's going to be you working with the client's team. I think that's the short answer. So it's not going to be like it's you doing the job. The client will be more or less hiring you to join the client's team, to join his team, or to join her team. And also, freelancing as a PM also, you probably need to have previous experience or case studies, right? Maybe it doesn't need to be a big team. So I remember when I was in school, I was part of a project. In school, people always want to work on a project, they call you. So you could just say, if you need experience to showcase before a client will hire you, definitely. So you could just say you manage the team, or you manage the project, or you manage the product, so to say. Because we're working with like 3 people, and I think if I was going to be a PM, I would have used that experience or that exposure to promote myself. So I would say as a PM could be a bit tricky, but you need to have case studies and you need to have a little experience before clients will be willing to hire you as a PM, right? Okay.
Okay. So I think as a PM too, based on the little knowledge that I have, okay,
Okay.
you might need to be able to translate the client's user journey, the user story, into a software requirement documentation, which in turn the client can either take back to the development team or ask you to create a development team based on the software requirement documentation you've written. So you must be able to listen to the client's needs and be able to write a user story, write the user journey, and translate it to a software requirement documentation. So those are the
Yeah.
skills that a project or product manager should be should acquire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very useful.
Yeah, so let's look at okay, we have Shonola Taiwo. He said, please, is freelancing only tech involvement? I want to engage in tech and sport broadcasting. That is why I'm asking this question.
Okay, when you say is only tech involvement, do you mean that it's freelancing? Like, is it only tech skills you can use to freelance? Is that what you're asking? I guess that's what you're asking, though. But it's not only tech skills that you can use to freelance. You can use, so some people are into data entry, right? Some people like me, when I started, virtual assistant is not a tech role. It's just more or less like an admin related role. So freelancing doesn't necessarily, like, you don't have to be involved in just tech, but your sport broadcasting, sport broadcasting doesn't sound like a high demand skill. So when you're in doubt, what you can do is to check, because when people ask me about things like this, that data or facts will just sort you out. So let's see how many people post jobs that have to do with sport broadcasting. I'm not sure it will be a lot. So, okay. So you can see for yourself that sport broadcasting is not a high demand skill. Okay, this one was posted 16 days ago. So it's great, right? But it's not a high demand freelance skill at all. So I would just say, for you to be a freelancer and make money, it's best to just have a skill that is in high demand. That's the only way you can profit as a freelancer when you're getting started. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Shonola Taiwo.
Okay. Another Stephen Paul said, I am also on Upwork. I don't know how well to compose proposals and sending them.
Okay, so proposals are like, they are a different class on their own. But what I can tell you for proposals is, I think I'd already highlighted some of this in my slides for proposals, right? The first thing you should know when you're sending proposals is that you want to make sure that you understand what the client is in need of. That's the very first thing. So you're not sending proposals, you're not sending generic proposals, you're not sending, even though templates are good, but templates are just a guide. You are understanding what the client is in need of before sending. So that's the first problem that a lot of people make, or that's the first mistake a lot of people make. That's why they don't hear back from clients. In fact, I think last week I sent proposals, and even though I didn't get the job to the proposals, I heard back from the clients. We had a conversation, but I stopped hearing back. Like I said, proposal is to get you to have a conversation. So why I had those conversations, in fact, is because I didn't send generic, I didn't send copy-paste proposal. I sent proposals that were tailored to client says, I have this problem. I send a proposal that is addressing what the client is saying. I'm preferring solutions. So a good way to also get the client's attention is, maybe the client wants to, I don't always advise this, but it's probably worth trying because it stands you out. A client wants to design 5 screens, and maybe if it won't take you more than 30 minutes, you could just do something quick on Figma and send it to the client. You may say, oh, I'm doing the job. What if the client doesn't pick me? But the truth is that not everybody will do this. And because you want to, get a conversation, you want to gain the client's attention, you probably start. So the second thing is, if you can't, start answering the job or start doing the job in your proposal. That's another thing, right? So don't just wait for the client to, if the client is, I always tell people that are into data entry, if clients wants to scrape something, start doing it. Do like 10 lines or 10 rows. Start doing the job in the proposal, and don't make the proposal all about you. Like, it's boring if it's all about you. Make it about the value you are giving to the client. If you're a product manager, talk about how you were able to transform the journey of the user journey into what developers can understand and how they can start implementing. Talk about how you did that successfully, or your thoughts and your ideas. Give solutions, give value to why they should hire you. All of this help you stand a chance of you hearing back from clients. I'll also be doing some maybe free stuff on proposals, so just look out for it. And yeah, so that's it. Just look out for it. I'll be posting regularly on tips and tricks on how to get clients attention when you're writing your Upwork proposal. So I hope this also answers your question.
Yeah, okay. So we also have Abdul Mojib. Can one get on Upwork by being only a front-end developer, or one must be a full-stack developer?
Okay, so one can get on Upwork by being a front-end developer. Yes, you can. So if you're in doubt, why I'm not just saying it's like, yes, you can, is I want you to also see for yourself, right? If you're in doubt of any skill at all, the best thing you can do is to go to upwork.com and search for that skill. So now we want to know if one can get on Upwork as a front-end developer. And that only means that do people come to hire front-end developers, right? I'm a front-end developer. I'm more of a front-end developer than full-stack developer. So let's see, this is a front-end developer job, right? This is a full stack. This is a front-end developer job that was posted 52 minutes ago, even though this person doesn't look like a serious person because the payment is not verified. This is a front-end developer job, right? So you actually see that there are a couple of front-end developer jobs. So you can work as a front-end developer. It's a front-end developer job. So I hope this has answered your question. You don't necessarily need to be a full stack developer. You can be a front-end developer and still work on Upwork. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. That's all from the chat. Does anyone still have question? Please kindly raise your Abisayo Folu. Yeah, Abisayo Folu, are you there?
All right, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, my question is because I started learning Kotlin last year, mid last year.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm also very good at JavaScript and HTML. Now I'm hearing about freelancing, and I've had, like, to be very frank with you, I've not really done any project from any clients. So now the question is that could I still, sign up for Upwork, or I should wait a while? I think I should be patient. Then maybe when I've done one or two work for clients, then I can now upload them, or when I become very good at it. That's the question.
Okay, you said you started learning Kotlin.
Yeah, last year, mid last year.
Okay, have you done any personal project? Like, have you done any?
Yeah, I've done so many personal projects. Yeah, so many of them.
If you've done personal projects, these are projects worth knowing to, like if you've done personal projects, you don't necessarily need to wait for project for some. If you've done a project, like you've given yourself a project and you've done it and you've completed it, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so sign up on Upwork and start. Like, you already have what it takes. That's why I asked you if you've done a project. If you've done a project, there's no stopping you. If you're able to pitch that your project that you completed to a client and they like it, like, that's all that entails. You don't have to wait to get a job with a client before you start. Just sign up on Upwork and pitch those clients to, like, tell clients about what you've done, put it in your portfolio. So I was going to show you, let me just use this opportunity to show you where you can put your just a minute. I want to go to my profile to show you where you can include those your own projects. So Upwork has where you can include your portfolio. So wherever you've done, just put it here. And when you're sending your proposals, if you have links to what you've done, put it there that you don't need to say, oh, for anybody. Just say these are some of the projects that you've worked on in the past. That's all they need to know. And if they are so good that it impresses them, like you get the job, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, okay. And in addition to what Folasade said, you know, there are some for front-end developers here that are looking for projects to get their hands on. We have a frontendmentor.io. There you can pick up designs. They have designs for beginner, intermediate, junior, advanced that you can design. They give you all the assets, just like they are giving you the Figma link. So they give you all the assets of the image and all. You can go there, download some of those challenge, build them, upload them on Netlify. If you are a backend developer, you can build the backend API and connect it to the front end. So to make it a live application. So that way you are learning. Don't wait until you have a client job to practice on. There are so many ways you can practice. Just go on frontendmentor.io, pick up projects, build them, host them on Netlify on GitHub page. So you have something to show that can demonstrate your skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Do you still have any question from anybody? If you have any question, please kindly signify. You can drop a chat or raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, I think no question. My question is my own question is this. Okay, for somebody that have multiple skills, you're a full stack developer, you are into product management and some other things. Can you list all those things on Upwork and get hired for any of those skills?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So on Upwork, Upwork gives you, when they first started, when I first joined, right, you could only come into one skill set and work on one skill set. But Upwork gives you the ability to have two different specialized profiles. So I have CMS development, which is more or less like my web development skill sets. Then I have virtual assistant. So you can actually come in for, like, you can restrict your skills to two. So if you know you're a front-end developer or you are a developer and you have another skill set that is totally different, like you're an admin person or you're a copywriter or anything, you can actually have those two on your profile. So when you join Upwork, right, there will be a place that says maybe add specialized skills. So you then add the profile. So you just add the writing or the front-end development, whatever it is, you add it just like your normal profile, and that's just it. So yes, you can have more than one, skill on Upwork and get hired for it as well.
Okay. So for your profile, if you optimize your profile and you have 100%, how long does it take for your profile to be verified?
How long does it take for your profile to be verified? Okay, approved. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, approved.
Okay, so I think it takes 24 hours for them to get back to you if you've been approved on Upwork. So it would probably take 24 hours. You submit your profile and you wait for 24 hours and they send you an email, or when you log in, you'll be able to see whether yes, you've been approved or no, you've not gotten an Upwork. But there'll be a notification when you log in on Upwork, so you know if you've been approved or not.
Okay, thank you. I think that would be all.
Okay.
Okay, Abdul Majid. Okay, let me just type it. Let me type it's frontendmentor.io. .io. Okay. And Majid, are you a student of LASU? Okay, it's Mujib. Abdul Mujib, are you there? I think we've
Probably not there.
it's not there. Okay. So thank you so much, Folasade. I would like to get feedback from our participants. Do you like this section? Can we all unmute and talk?
Yeah, it was a very nice session.
Absolutely.
I really learned a lot.
Yes, sir. It was a very nice session, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like you to go and tweet it.
Thank you very much, Folasade.
Yeah, well, I'd like to hear your feedback. But don't forget to tweet or just send me a
tweet
message.
about it. Tag Guy for Jilasu, tag Folasade, use the hashtag. Yeah, and let's get the conversation going. Should we have Folasade again for
Yes, so yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that would be targeting about profiling, Upwork, setting up.
You don't understand.
We really appreciate. And this is going to go long. Okay, let me stop recording. Okay.
Guys,
Muslim.